This is a challenging question because it's so hard to predict the question here. Just looking at it, I don't really know what's going on. It looks like maybe the tense of the word matters, right? Defending, defended, that might be important. It also seems like maybe sentence structure matters, right? There's a comma that's maybe going or coming, and then we have like words like who that are maybe changing whether or not something is a sentence or not. So there are a lot of pieces to this question. And we really need to be careful and make sure that we're understanding the main sentence. So look, this is a long sentence. It's 5 lines long. You cannot just read that underlined portion or the words around it. You need to get the full context here. So no shortcuts. Anytime you have an underlined thing, you have to read the whole sentence that underlined thing is a part of. At least at first, so we can make sure we understand what's going on. So let's see, what would I get out of this crazy long sentence? Kushner responded by stating Lincoln upheld the expectations of a dramatic film because it illustrated the amendment's narrow vote. And Doris Kearns Goodwin, the film's historical consultant, something, something, something. Well, I do see some sentence structure pieces here. So this first bit, that's all a sentence. Then I have a conjunction and a comma. That's an okay way to add a new sentence to my first sentence. So we are preventing a run-on, and that part is kind of not even under our control. So that seems good. But now we should kind of have another sentence. So Doris Kearns Goodwin, the film's historical consultant. Hopefully you recognize this part here is supposed to be kind of an appositive. And a positive, remember, is a kind of second way to describe something. And usually this is kind of like an extra clause. And a lot of times we end up putting that with commas around it so that we can kind of show that it's an interruption, it's extra, and it's not part of the main sentence. So I'd be trying to see what would happen if I kept that comma after consultant. Would it make sense as a sentence? Doris Kearns Goodwin defending Kushner's script. Defending is a problem. Then it's not like a verb that we can actually say creates a sentence. It's more of these like kind of noun verbs. It's a weird thing. I don't want to get too much into the grammar, but hopefully you can hear that it would be much better to choose choice C. Doris Kearns Goodwin defended Kushner's script. So we do need the comma, and we need the much harder word of defended, the much harder verb, I guess. It's much more of a clear action rather than a description of the person. B would kind of create another problem. The word who is a word that we use kind of like the word which to attach more extra information. So if we did that here, we'd really never get to our point in this second sentence. It would just kind of keep going on as like more and more extra information about Doris Kearns Goodwin, but then she's not actually doing anything. So we need to have the action in order for it to be a complete sentence. And then D, of course, gets rid of the comma. So then where would the break be? Doris Kearns Goodwin, this comma we can't change, the film's historical consultant to defend Kushner's script. Again, it feels like we never kind of get to our point. So we do need to think about punctuation here. This is a tricky, tricky question, but hopefully by predicting the question out front, we can get our brain on the right track. This isn't just about what sounds good, or if it is, it's only in the context of the full sentence that we can even hear what sounds good. If we're narrowing our focus too much here, we might kind of have something that sounds good in that spot, but then, like I said, doesn't make a full sentence and then is grammatically incorrect. So we need to balance a lot of different things when we have these kinds of questions, and the best way to do it is to make sure from the start we're not just listening for what sounds best, we're thinking about sentence structure and the grammatical rules that we'll need to follow.